Global Education Media presents Education Report on TV, the television program that promotes educational events and activities across the country for parents, students, practitioners in educational fields across categories, corporate organizations with products and services that appeal to the youths, government officials, particularly those saddled with the responsibility of managing education, and the general public. It also covers programs and activities in the educational sector, such as awards and opening ceremonies, school inter-house sports, collaborative engagement with NGOs, as well as corporate organizations, plus vocational and technical education, institution for people with special education needs, individual contribution towards the growth and development of education while celebrating success in the educational sector at all levels. For sponsorship and advert placement, please contact 0803 323 2771 or 0812 120 1359. Education Report on TV, promoting excellence in education on television nationwide.
29 new private schools were recently approved by the Lagos State government through the Ministry of Education after scaling the stringent prerequisite measures for approval. The newly approved schools include 16 secondary schools and 13 primary schools. Speaking at the handing over of letters of approval to the proprietors and proprietress, the Commissioner for Education in Lagos State, Mrs. Olayinka Oladunjoye, urged school owners to adhere strictly to government policies guarding their operations.
I want to enjoin you that government policies and regulations should be adhered to. I want to say to you that you should ensure that your children get to primary 6. First of all, those children are ready. The self-motto and all the things they need are ready at that time. That's the time when they are supposed to go into secondary schools. And in any case, if you want them to come to our own schools, you have to get them to primary 6, because we are going to ask for continuous assessments, and then they are going to write placement tests, which is compulsory for every child in the state when they get to primary 6, so they can get into Lagos State schools. For those in the secondary schools, well, you know they have to write paper exam. It's compulsory, and we're going to monitor and ensure that you adhere to our regulations strictly. You must pay your dues and taxes all the time. We now have you on a database. We provide basic infrastructure for you as much as we can, get into your schools and coming out of your schools. We try and ensure that we put security to monitor the areas where our schools are as much as we can, because that's government responsibilities.
Government will expect you to join any of the associations we want to join. So it will help you to mentor you, and at the same time meet with the government, because government can't meet on an individual basis. And then we have the commissioner has set up a committee, and that committee is to look into synergizing the activities of both the public and private schools in Lagos, so we're on the same page all times. And the committee also is in charge of ensuring having the same school calendar, curriculum, and other things. So your representative is on the committee. Any of the associations, we have about 15 associations, and each of them is represented in the association, the committee.
Some of the newly approved schools were Uncle Bayus College Ikorodu, Royal Ambassador College Surulere, Lutheran Primary School at Dimosho, Brooks Montessori School, Oni Home Children's School, and Grace Springs College, to mention but a few. Some of the proprietors and proprietresses shared their joy and future plans with Education Report on TV.
The journey so far actually is not easy, but we thank God at the last we achieved. Actually, the government wants every private school to set up a standard. They want better standard for our students in order to cope with their other counterpart in the world.
The journey so far was stressful, but today I'm extremely happy because we thank God all the necessary recommendations by the government, the facilities to be put in place. Those are the challenges we'll encounter. The special rooms, the laboratories, all the special rooms. But we thank God at the end, it was so good. Even when we put them in place, it brings about tremendous change in the academic performance of the students in the school.
When the approval, to me, is okay. Because through that, one will be able to lay a very strong foundation for those children. But by the time it's a butter and bread approval process, definitely one is not laying any good foundation for the children coming. So putting the lab in place, putting the right instructional materials in place, the right test is okay. To me, they are all okay. The steps are okay, at least for the benefit of the children.
For me, it increased my professionalism. Because in the process of all these things, I'm built up professionally, and then my teachers are built up. Then for the students, the quality they receive cannot be compared than when we were yet to get the approval. The facilities are now in place. Those facilities we thought they were not necessary before. We're now getting them. Those who don't know we needed, they are now there. So the students are doing better. The parents are happier. They are confident to say, this is the school where my child is going.
I want to tell every school that is on the struggle, that have a purpose to fulfill, have sense of mission in education, that they should not relent, they should not stop. Though the road may seem tough, but persistence with hard work, by God's grace, will give them success. They will also be approved as well.
I will advise proprietors and proprietresses of private secondary schools as well as nursery and primary schools that they must look into the inwardly and outwardly performances of the children. They must not sit down. The Lagos State Inspectorate Division must dive down into the records of schools and not to look at the structures. There are some structures that are deceitful.
Conclusively, all private schools in Lagos State have been enjoined not to aid and condone examination malpractices in the name of associating their schools with success.
This is to inform all head teachers and principals of public primary and secondary schools in Lagos State to kindly activate the recently issued official email address by following these steps. 1. Visit www.lagosschoolsonline.com. 2. Click on the log on to the web mail tab. 3. Enter your full email address. 4. Enter your issued password. 5. Change your issued password to enhance the security of your email address. For further enquiries, please call 080-3323-2771 or 081-8760-9231. Announcer, the Lagos State Ministry of Education.
Global Education Media presents Education Report on TV, the television program that promotes educational events and activities across the country for parents, students, practitioners in educational fields across categories, corporate organizations with products and services that appeal to the youths, government officials, particularly those saddled with the responsibility of managing education, and the general public. It also covers programs and activities in the educational sector, such as awards and opening ceremonies, school inter-house sports, collaborative engagement with NGOs, as well as corporate organizations, plus vocational and technical education, institution for people with special education needs, individual contribution towards the growth and development of education while celebrating success in the educational sector at all levels. For sponsorship and advert placement, please contact 0803-323-2771 or 0812-120-1359. Education Report on TV, promoting excellence in education on television nationwide.